Howdy. So we've done pretty well so far with our Mortarion model. He got a good amount of a dip in. Let me scooch this over. There we go. The other day, so he's still very light, and he's supposed to be. But I've gotten most of the color in that I want, and we stopped sort of right around here before. So it is time to start attaching more stuff. And I did have time to get outside very, very quickly and prime stuff up. So there's that. I'm getting less and less space in my workspace to work. I got all these paint colors lying over here. But we're going to scooch in and I'll snip this stuff off of here. As I primed them on the sprue, so I might have to dab a little bit in here and there, and I will sand a couple spots, but that should be fine. So you can see that there's lots of chains and stuff that are still to hang off of him. There are other fiddly bits, like he's got a base with a couple big rock things to do. So we're just going to go through and start knocking stuff off the list. He's got a bunch of tubes and some little lords that have tiny wings, so it should be a lot of neat little stuff. So we'll get right underway. I need to find piece number 32, and there it is. Of course, I'm poorly set up to do this work, but someday I'll have a bigger desk. Or I won't be doing so many things at the same desk, whatever. Nothing to lament as of right now. Alright, so we snip those guys off. Very careful with these chains. They're very soft. Don't want to break anything in the final moment, of course. There we go. So that came off. Get a little bit of sanding done. Not a ton. This is pretty good shape. Well, I think a lot of what I'm going to have to do is just get a couple extra little snips and clean up. Hopefully a lot of these burrs are going to be hidden. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. How's that feel? That feels good. All right, so let's see if this glue actually makes it out of here. I've been having to flame this thing every time to get things moving. See if we have to do that again today. So as I scooch things forward a little bit, not even in focus. Let's see. Yeah, it's crisp enough. Crisp enough for my blind eyes as I swing my limbs around this place. So 32 is going to hang right on here. Search around. All right. Have I already lost a piece? There we go. 32's right here. Curse these eyes. So it is going to hang out right in there. That's my alarm that reminds me that I should stream. So I'll have to match that cloth, but that'll be fine. This thing locks right in there. So we'll see if the glue comes out. It's a glue party? Yeah, it's a glue party. All right. So these are just, there's a pile of chains that come off of this guy. If you've ever seen him on the table, he's just laden with stuff. So that goes on like that. I can just let that sit. Now I'll find 31 and 33. 33 is just a tiny scooch of cloth. It looks like cloth, at least in the picture. 33. You can see his spare face. Let's see. 33. All kinds of crazy extra details to be done tonight. Check this piece out. Looks relatively clean. I can get a little bit off of here. I may actually scooch the camera back a little bit It's in pretty tight. Nah, that's fine. I'll just pay more attention. All right, so 33. Over the left side of this cloak and almost there we go. Do you really make sense? Is that just cover? That's weird. Yeah, I don't really get that. I might have to go a step further and see exactly how this is supposed to fit. Let's check it out. Stash that over there. Does anything attach to it? I don't think so. That would be on that side. It doesn't show it there, which is weird. Let me make sure I'm getting the right perspective here. Here's that notch. This goes, oh, it goes underneath this thing? Buddy, you ain't gonna fit. No way I can get you under there. That would have to be, that would be begging to break this thing. And I don't think it would have fit there ever. Anyways, I'll set him aside. He's fine. I can live without that dude. Now we'll find 31. Should just be a long chain. I think. Yeah, it's just a chain with, is that it? That's 24. 31's right there. There we go. This guy's just going to scooch in there and hang out. That feels okay. That's not okay. Give that a little snipping. There we go. Nice. Always just dig your finger in there and see how it feels. All right, 31. So it gets right in here. All right, that does sit all right. I'm not too worried. These pieces, almost all metallic. They'll just need a sort of dab of the color I've already contrasted. Oh, you might need to get torched. Might be that magic time of night. Grab a little piece of paper towel before I light my house on fire. Just get this excess off of here. So working safe. Oh yeah, it's all stuck on there. All right, this is gonna be Fire Alarm City. Scooch that over there. And we'll use tweezers. I do not recommend trying this at home, though if you use this glue, you'll be doing this pretty regularly. There we go, look at that. Back over there. Yeah, I'm really making a mess of things tonight. All the little wispy things that fly around, and we'll see if this comes out again. Never a dull moment with models. Come on, buddy. There we go. Nice dollop of glue. Make sure everything lines up nicely. That just sits in there. And yes, I could have painted these before putting them on, but I'm pretty confident based on what I'm seeing so far piece by piece that it shouldn't be a big struggle to paint them. There's that cloth that needs to sort of get enhanced, but that's not a big challenge. That's the same as I did up here. And the rest is kind of just metallics. If I can just get in there, nice and be nice and chill about it. Should be no problem. All right, so there's a tube, which is called 27. 27. 27's right up there. This is just a connector tube that goes up on his back, behind his sort of headdress that he's got going on. So that should be pretty simple. You always just spin this thing around, look for any burrs. I might have to hit this one with a little bit of a sanding twig. Nope, that came off easy. All right. So, what do you look like? This is where things get spicy. So that tube will fit in just like that. So I'll pop him out. Always dry fit your stuff first. One dollop in here, one little dollop in there, and away we go. Always good to have tweezers around. But I actually have some finer tweezers. You gonna make it? You gonna make that reach? Try that again. There we go, nice and gross. That'll also get some metallics on it. And then, let's see here, if I'm looking right, it's number 24, which is easy to spot because it looks just like that guy. It's pretty much the same thing on the other side. So many details. I love this model. It is so many hours of good, wholesome fun. That burr is going to get a little bit of sanding twig. Just to get off of there. That's all right. These guys look fine. Alrighty. So give him a little. You on there good? You are not on there good, buddy. You did not stick. None of this stuck. Oh, I gotta crazy glue these, don't I? I think the primer's in the way. I think the primer's in the way as all of my work comes undone. I think it is. Or it just needs a lot more time to settle. Let's see. Let's see. I think we are looking at crazy glue time. All that paint isn't allowing the actual plastic on plastic to meld. Hadn't thought of that. Good to know with subassembly. You might have some challenges in terms of adhesion. So we'll keep an eye on that other guy on that side. This guy I will do with crazy glue. And then I will set this guy aside and start working on the base a little bit. Give him some time to breathe. That was a bit of a moment. All right, so if I'm looking at this, 24 the divots on that side. It's nice and pressed in. This is going to go under this arm. It would be awesome if it didn't fit. It would be absolutely fantastic if it didn't fit in there. Wow, this is really unhappy model right now. You might just have to sit and think about what you've done, buddy. Just press that in there as hard as I can without breaking the entire thing. All right, well, that's starting to fuse a little bit better. You really do have to line this up with the creases or it won't stick. Right, this guy I'm going straight crazy glue with. Grab him here. See how it dry fits. See how I have to scooch this guy in. All right, he will sit. That is good. He will sit. I just got to come from the underneath. This is all the complexity of this model that I put off till the end. Now I got to cope with it. It's like Magnus saving his whole legion, and then all their gods coming to collect much, much later. How's that? Can you guess what book I'm reading right now? And what part of what book I'm on? All right. You're going to sit in there nice. You don't look like you want to. Wow, this piece genuinely does not want to fit in there. Genuinely. I might have to sand a bit of it down. I don't know. It does not want to fit with that arm being the way it is. It's funny because it felt like it popped right in there earlier. Now it's like, I am not having this. Make sure I've got it right side up. I do. It is unhappy. Muy no bueno. All right, I'm going to have to snip a piece off of it. As terrifying as that is, things I got to do. You got to fit, buddy. I don't want to war with you over it, but I will. I mean, it genuinely looks like this piece does not go there. Genuinely. Here? No, absolutely does not. It is supposed to fit just like that. Buddy, you gotta sit in there. You gotta do your job. Like it or not. It's time for more glue. The struggle is real. This piece needs to fit in there like that. I've already snipped a chunk of him off to make it go. Oh, this is awesome and worrisome. I'm just going to hold that down with one finger, and we're going to pray to the gods of chaos that it will sit in there and play nice, which it desperately is not doing right now. All right. Everybody just remain calm. Good time still primes. Well, conveniently, the next step of this is a bunch of basing stuff. And after that, there's a little piece of lovely cloth and more chain stuff coming off of his keister. Does not want to sit in there. All right, I'm gonna have to hold this guy for a second. I'm gonna grab my tea. You gotta remain calm and not freak out. That's basically the thing. But yeah, I think this is a pretty solid teaching moment. Maybe. Yeah, that is totally not on there. All right, well, I'm going to find whatever point I have contact on, and we'll keep on trying. I do need to snip a couple of these errant pieces of brush off of here, or I'll be running into increasingly more problems. All right, let's try this one more time, buddy. I need you to play nice, Mortarion. I know that's not in your nature, but I need you to stick. Once more with feeling. In you go. And we'll just hold you fast. Never a dull moment. Make sure I don't get my thumb stuck in there. How great would that be right now? Like, finally get this thing to set. Get my thumb all in the mix. And I think once these set of chains go on, well, I'm not going to read ahead too much, but I'll take a peek. I'm guessing the side goes on pretty soon. Wings. Yeah, we're getting there. All right, that is sticking. That is sticking. All right, so with that on there and the back tube on there, I'm going to set this guy aside up here and let him breathe. Let myself breathe a little bit. Interesting. I don't think they actually tell you how this rock formation on the ground, he's supposed to stand on it. Hopefully both of these two bits just like lock into each other a little bit. I'm really hopeful that's the case, because if they don't, there's going to be a lot of guesswork, a lot of dry fitting. I'll cross my fingers. And if worse comes to worse, I mean, I do like this base. It's got like these two big rock formations, a lot of detail. But I could always YOLO the base. Like we've sat Mortarion down and he sits nice. All that cloak at the bottom is flat. So that's a good thing. Now we're just going to check out our edges and snip off any excess and give it a little sand. This is his base. He's going to have to stand on it and survive. That's good. A little bit of a burr. Get that out. Yeah, it needs to come down a little bit. That's okay. That does. That is decent now. Yeah, that's good. Snip off the big bits that are still hanging on there. Doink. It's funny because I've always felt that this model was out of my league. And that kind of proves it a little bit. It's okay. I'm going to punch above my weight. Keep on trucking. This model's hard. Like, this is absolutely not a beginner model. But you can still do it. You've got to keep your expectations reasonable. So it says plop 1 and 2 together. Basically the instructions. Oh, they do. They just link up right like that. That is convenient. You see, there's this little part, that little part. With enough crazy glue, all things are possible. And now I want to see how he actually stands on it. I try to make this match the picture. Pull you back out of retirement, buddy. Dry fit and Palooza. Okay, that's on there good. I'm always a little skeptical. Like re-grab something. That's on there fine. It's a little weird, but whatever. I got no business painting this thing. back is this way. Should be 1, 2. Sort of stands like, oh, that's like a gangster lean. That's not right. Might be time to haul out the. When in doubt, grab the box. All right, if he's facing me. Is that right? I can't even tell. I think I have it backwards. I think I do. All right. Maybe it's like this. Yep. And then that little back piece goes there, front goes here, that goes there, and if I get all the pieces together the right way, he does make sense. All right. That is a little less unsettling. But it's good to know that he's facing out that way. He's got a little buddy that's going to be hanging out down there. That little guy's going to plop in. He's going to stand right between them. So if I center this well, I just need to get that glued that way. Good job, box art. Good job. All right, so this I can just hit the flat spot pretty nicely. Cray. Do the same on the other side, and then I'll just plop them both down. They should sit together pretty nicely. Sweating a little bit. Starting getting nervous. But you just got to power through it, man. Just got to power through it. I think I'm getting a little on crazy glue, too. It's a good sign. I've been getting a lot done. Just run the brush over a little bit. I should get this box the heck out of my way. Nice clean space is a happy space. Just throw that behind me. That's how that fits. So, everybody into the pool. Just sort of center it like that a little bit. I'll run a tiny bead where it connects. We'll get over that. Just run a tiny bead over that, and we're going to pray that this thing actually settles. Oof. All right. In the meantime, while that sits, I'm going to find 7 and 8 and slap him together. I may put a lot more nurglings on the base of this thing than it comes with. 7. This little fireball thingy. 7 and 8. All right. 7, out you come. You got a weird club foot, buddy. Nothing personal. 7 and 8 is up here. And I don't know how people cope with this. It's so stressful. These last few bits, all these little details. I am supremely happy that I didn't put all this stuff on when I got started. Very happy. I don't know how I would have painted around any of this. I've seen videos online where people are just like straight up painting them, but they skip so many little steps in between that I'm like, how the hell did you possibly get in there? I'm not sure this is real. It might be heavily produced. That foot's probably fine because, yeah, that foot fits right in there. All right. He's throwing fire like that, and then the heck happens with this other piece? Fire that way. This is his shoulder. Go around him like that. Sure looks like it. Sure looks like it ish. Swinging a bell. The bell's just hanging off in front of him? You mad lad. Alright. Yep. His arm's back. Okay, that makes sense. I'll try this. The glob. There we go. A nice bead on there. And we'll hold this in place. There's a little piece of fabric on one of the pieces. It's really tough to tell, but it's actually the other part of his cloak. There we go, buddy. I love these little dudes. All these little guys that are just hanging out. Kill the other light in this room, see if it'll help the camera a little bit. So many lights on this space, it's ridiculous. Pop that guy in a little. Alrighty. So, this guy is reasonably intact. He looks like his little club foot fits right in there. Of course, the primer probably makes it so that it doesn't fit right anymore. There's another thing I'm learning, so I'm just going to learn and adapt. Sand some of it down. Don't need to sand a ton of it down. Just enough so it sort of fits. And I don't know if it ever was going to fit in there. There are some parts of these models that are just kind of ridiculous. I didn't exactly throw a heck of a lot of primer on these things. I don't like to hold myself accountable for anything, so it couldn't possibly be me. It must be them. Yep. Couldn't possibly be me. Well, we'll just keep sanding until it actually fits. I might need a thicker piece of sanding board. Everybody's complicated now that we thought we were almost done. Yeah, let's just let that guy sit. I'm probably messing with him too much while he's still gluing together. I'll just stand him up right there. So I do have plenty of nerdlings. So this thing may get a pile of them. How's that feel? That's on there good. So in theory, if all this is settled, he looks like two little legs still go there. Okay, that don't let him fall. Yeah, he does sit in there nicely. It's a very cool rock formation. He's gonna be okay. Sit down again. I am not going to jam him in there till this guy's in. Probably wait till I got his wings on. They say to just like slap him in there, but I don't think that's wise. Got a little guy with a bucket who just interesting little piece. I don't think that guy's gonna fit in there. I might have to actually just snip a little chunk of this off. That isn't better not supposed to be his whole foot. All right, well, you shouldn't meditate on what you've done. I'm pretty sure I can sneak him in there later if I have to. All right, so he's got a lot of, Just hide that over there. Got a nice draped piece that I've got to put together in toto. And this is one of the little nurgling guys that's flitting about. So we're going to put a torso and some wings together. See a lot of wings out here. So we'll just give that a try. 40, oh, 74, 75. There's some wings. And I know I'm freaking out a little bit, but don't let it stop you from building fun models. Like, I was super scared of this guy, and I just got him as a gift, and then I was like, crap, now I got to do it. But it is still supremely fun, and if you don't do a fantastic job, like, you still run him around the table and go nuts. Just be proud of what you do. It'll all work out. All right, so 72. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. 72's up here. All right. And while he is challenging, he's a heck of a lot of fun. All right. Don't deny yourself a good time. Those cuts look pretty decent. Run my finger over that. There's a little bit of a burr. All right. Keep looking. So these wings, I think they look like they just slap into those two little holes. In theory. All right, I got to check this. This piece has a little bit of work that needs to happen to it. Don't be lazy. This off here. Snip that little burr off. Feels okay. Just a little, yep, got that little piece. And burr on the same side. Yoink. Yep, that came right off. Nice. All right, so it's going to be, looking at this right, it's just wing and wing. The wings you got. A little tough to tell which one's left and which one's right. Do stick up a bit. I think that makes, well, that does stick in there, so good to go there. This I'll obviously just do and then set aside a little bit. I'm going to use the modeling glue. A little drop in each deposit spot. Hopefully it doesn't go crazy out of here. Oh, maybe it won't come out at all. All right, well, crazy glue it is. That is troublesome. Little dab on there. Maybe a little more than a little bit of a dab, but in this. Got things that are not even. There we go. Keep scooching these guys till they look reasonably similar. All the paint sort of dries, and you've got a little bit of stickiness there. Tiny little wings. Tiny, tiny little wings. Jiggle, jiggle, wiggle. Let that guy sit for a second. Now we're going to find a piece of cloth that is 34, which is definitely that piece. Well, that little guy's wings dry. Make sure I still got him in a good spot. Oh, I don't. There we go. There you go, buddy. Sit him face down. Let him think about what he's done. Get 34 out. Gets attached to this long chain 73. 5, 73. Got to do my nurglings a good amount of respect. Inspect there, feel that, it feels fine. That feels good. Actually, some pretty decent cuts. There we go. This guy attaches down at the base of the cloth. From the inside? From the inside. Okay, so that makes good sense. That goes right in there. I've said that about 3 or 4 joins already tonight, that once I put them together they didn't so much, but we'll stay positive. Just gonna stay positive. All right, that does fit nicely, and it's got a little post and hole combo, which is always appreciated. Okay, so that can now sit. Need 35. 35 right there. This is a pretty complicated little part. And I know I was like, hey, when I was first putting this thing together, I was like, I'm so surprised there's not 18 million tiny parts on some of the larger sections of Mortarion. Now I'm finding out all the little stuff just at the end. But I was expecting a lot of the pieces of chain mail to be like independent parts and stuff like that, and they weren't. I was lulled into a false sense of security. Here's where things get a little spicy. That's good. Not terribly spicy, but a little spicy. All right. So, how are you feeling? You're feeling all right. This whole thing hangs off of that piece. And while I'm here and still managing that guy, and good lord, a bird that I didn't see. There we go. That's better. That's way better. We'll just get this guy on here. I'm not trying to rush things, but I'm not trying to go too careful slow either. All right, that's actually going to hurt to hold together, but that's fine. I'll just shut up and take the pain. Just got to remember, it's okay to not things get 100% right. It's not as okay to squeeze so tightly that you push some crazy glue out and get your finger stuck to it, though. There we go. Turn that. So this piece is coming together, and this is going to hang right off of, looks like right off the back center of his cloak, which is good because there's a really weird crease there, and I was like, man, I hope this really gets essentially covered by something. How do you fit together? I don't. Is this just make any sense, buddy? I mean, it says that this winged part is his back. But unless that's a burr that I didn't cut off, that does not make much sense. You on there? Yeah, you feel all right. You on there? Yeah, you feel all right. All right, so with this thing, that's the front of him. This part makes zero sense. That. A loss. I don't know how this fits together. burr in there. And I'm starting to wonder if that's like an extra piece or if I'm being really pedantic about how this thing goes together. It makes no sense. It genuinely does not make sense. This is a weird piece. Like it's got that little socket there, but this nub is way too big. Is it possible that when I snipped this thing off, I didn't cut enough of it? I guess that's possible. Well, let's be reckless. There we go. Now it's a form-fitting nub. If I'm wrong about this, I'm going to regret it. That's still a weird fit. That is still a very janky fit. There we go. Yeah, it's much better without that post. All right. The post was too long. We're safe. I don't know that we're saved, but we are safe. All right. In you go, buddy. Into the breach. Dab enough in there to get the job done. All right, now I'll hold this, man. This piece is yeah, now it fits in it. I think I was a little too conservative with how I snipped it. Ooh, getting spicy. All right, I will leave you to dry over there. Grab Mortarion. Yeah, so this spot back here, right where his cloak comes together, pretty sketchy, pretty weird. That's where that cover comes over. So whoop, covers up his butt. Sit you there. This guy should be settled enough where I can try to get him in. I may need to snip more of this strange club foot to get him to sit proper, but everything here should be dry, so I have a little bit more latitude. It definitely does not want to go in there. It is definitely thicker. All right, how do we handle this? How much can I snip off of this without screwing the whole thing up? Weird bits flying across my office. All right, now it's just front to back. That's a lot easier. That I just need to barely take a little scooch off of this. He should be in it to win it. In it to cheese it. I mean, he's in there a bit. Does this thing sit on the ground at all? You guys are not making my life easy. That way. I think I gotta just clip that thing off. I don't think it's gonna make it in there. It's got tiny feet. All right, this part's weird. Don't like it. Gonna do it anyway. All right, buddy. Now you make sense. So there's that. That I know I didn't screw up initially. It's not on me. Just make sure he's got space in there to hang. This all makes sense here. He's got enough space in there, so that's good. Let's glue him in. Every step of this process has been a little bit painful. Every little step. I'll light this thing up again. Nothing simple with Mortarion. Nothing simple at all. Let's get you out of the way so these things get spicy. There you go. Now it's flowing. It's flowing too much, but we're good. We're going to sit just like that. In fact, you're going to get a tiny little bloop, bloop. Then you'll sit pretty. And you'll see who's the boss here. So that needs a little time to just sit there and cure. This piece should be done. In theory, this slides underneath here. Wow, that's complex. That is complex. Should just sit happily. I fear for this little chain thing with the sensor on the back. I fear for it. All right, that is the exact way it's supposed to fit. And it is not the happiest little spot, but bend that up a little bit. All right, well, in we go. This part's not very fun. Got to glop a decent amount of glue on here. Not a heck of a lot of fun. We're just going to one and done it. We're going to just be super secure. Pull this thing up enough. Slide that right in without sliding it all over the darn place. Which, yeah, I've definitely slid it all over the darn place. And then we're going to see. Should still be able to sit. This actually is supposed to hit the ground, I think. This is so weird. Is he lean back on it? He might. Genuinely might. All right. This needs to be pretty darn sturdy, to say the least. I can't tell if it's better pressed that way or that way. So we're just going to hold it. This model went from not too complicated to pretty darn complicated tonight. I think for folks out there, I wouldn't worry about painting and I wouldn't worry. I really wouldn't. The painted part's not the issue. It's the actual construction and getting that right. Obviously, some people are better in one spot than others. But the painting hasn't been horrifying. It's been challenging. There's a lot of challenging parts. A lot of things to get right, a lot of texture. But I'm not going to say it's gone completely smoothly, but it's gone all right. This construction at the end has been just rough. This thing being over that already, that's going to be complicated to get around. That shouldn't be too tough, but it's right on the transition I've got between that blue and the purple. I'm going to futz with my lens a little bit. Let's see if I can get a little more space. There we go. That should be a little better. Hopefully it lets a little bit more light in as well. It's probably kind of dark for you guys. Let me see if I can mess with this even more. That wasn't wise. All right, that's a little better. Well, it's as good as it's gonna get. All right, so as I look through my crystal ball on here, set yet another piece aside in my ever-growing pile of mess on this desk. It looks like it's wing time. Well then, yeah, this is about to get scary. I should basin. That's what they're saying to do, and you know what? I am going to do exactly that. I am going to basin first. It's enough time. All these little 3 bits to lock right where they go is going to be yet another challenge. But when they sit, they should. There's nubs all over the place on this. They should sit pretty. 2 nubs in one. Nope. That goes. That goes. That goes. This I'll sneak some crazy glue underneath at some point. Yeah, that's how it works. It does. I hope what it says it does. Again, we're going crazy. I'm a little worried that straight up model glue is not gonna cover it. That in there. All right. Pray to the old gods. Rotation. Everybody snipped in. Everybody seems to be settled. That was a big step. That was a big, big step. So as I peek around to the instructions here, it's like, hey, put those 2 struts on the wings, and put the wings on. I think the wings go on last. I don't care what they tell me. I think those wings are going on last. All right, are you standing? So far, so decent. Got one of his winged fly boys. I think a second one. They mostly go on the base, which is convenient. And then I'm pretty sure the last round of chaos of this is all the toot that probably comes out of the back of them. I had to guess. Yeah, you just sit there, Mortarion. Chill out. Chill out, buddy. All that. Yep, and then that's all just all that crazy stuff. All that warp coming out of them. So I'm close. Basically wings and struts and warp. Maybe I'll do the warp stuff on its own and then attach it. That probably makes sense. It probably does. And it's got little flies coming out of it, so it's not unlike your boy Typhus. Buddy, you were kind of a pain, but that's all right. Well, I got parts on, and he is based. I wonder. I think there is just thinking out loud. I'm taking great pause here. I am wondering if I should do all the warpish bits on their own and then glue them on. It says get the wings on. And then it's like 3 pieces here, 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 and then his, sneak that out. His scythe on one side gets like mist coming out of it. Just on one side though. Interesting. It's like as if he's swinging it. He's sitting on there. So the other thing that I could do is thread this. Oh, of course, you're going to be a pain now that you've got those things on you. There you go. Thread that through, glue that guy on. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. We're here. More dip. That arm's got to be on there. Good. So it is interesting because the branch goes up behind him. And then theoretically, you are just like that. Okay. Sit here with my hand like this for 10 minutes. He looks like Mortarion now, though. Strangely enough. Strangely enough. There we go. Yeah, he is coming together. He's a beautiful model. I truly commend whoever designed this guy in ZBrush or whatever they use. It is a splendid looking model. All right, let's find all that warpish business, get it snipped up and on there. Look through these instructions there. Yeah, that's the page with it. Thanks. 76 and 77. All the funky warp bits coming to town. I am just going to get them on there and I'll paint them on the model. Bite the bullet and just do it that way. These parts are way bigger than they were on Typhus. So I'm not, famous last words. I'm always like, oh, I'm not really concerned about that. And then I find out I am very concerned about it. What did I say? 76, 77, 78. But I'm pretty sure I can handle it. I'm not going to go quite as weird as I did with Typhus. I don't think I'm going to put glitter in. But that was fun. So I do have some crazy color shifting. I was going to say vermouth. I think it's a lacquer that I might use. All right, so these are all warpy bits. There's a lot of cleanup to do on these guys. There you go. That's a good snip. Burring over there. I will have to sand these guys down. All right. Looking pretty good. Yeah, there's a good chunk right there. Zoink. All right, and then this guy. This is so pretty. There you go. That's good. That's not bad. That's a burr. All right, let's sand a little bit. Sand a lot of bit. Alrighty. Be very careful over here not to get this fly. Gotta be careful when you're sanding. You can absolutely just like knock a little detail out that you liked. There you go. There's that bit. Okay, this is the one that goes on the side because it's got the 3-hole doohickey on it. There we go. Mortarion, you're becoming Mortarion right before my very eyes. All right, if I look at the pretty picture, this one with the big hook. How do you fit on here? How does that even work? You're 77? No, you're not 77. You're 76. So it should have two little nubs? I ask myself with very little confidence. I don't. Does it just sit on there? That can't be right. That can't be right. It's all flies over there. Oh, there we go. Maybe it's like this. Tough to tell. Tough to tell, Games Workshop. Okay, these are definitely the two parts that stick out of there. They don't look that happy right now, doing what I'm telling them to do. And this one, just do these separately. Yeah, this part's weird. All right, that one definitely has a place that it sits. Maybe I'll do that one first. Toot toot. Gonna do another no glue coming out moment. Oh, as I lose the cap on it. Oh, get back in there. Yeah, tonight's just laden with struggles. Struggle is real. All right, I'll maybe flip this thing around and see if it goes this way. Yep, it does. So weird. I don't know why that works that way, but it does. Sometimes you flip the little metal bit around in the glue squeezy, and all of a sudden the glue starts coming out. Where were you a minute ago? It's a tube, so it has to come out both sides. Does it work one way and not the other? Gently. So I just need to hold this guy carefully, not my strong suit, for a bit. I only like to hold them long enough where they'll sit in place, because I find that if I hang on to the model for a little bit too long, my hands start gripping a little harder. Then you start smushing the thing out of place because you feel that the resin of the model is starting to get smushy, and then it's more like a little bit of a slide that I don't want to do. You got a lot of parts, buddy. You are a baller. I think as I look around this, still some fiddly bits. Did I get those parts in there? Now I'm thinking out loud again. There's a couple tubes that are going to come off the front of there too. And I got a couple extra arm bits. You do get extra pieces, that is for sure. An extra face. Maybe I'll make a Mortarion Knight, Chaos Knight. I have a whole shoulder set. I think I have a whole upper body line around from the Tyrant. I'll give you a lot of extra parts there. Not all the ones you need, but a lot of them. Put a Mortarion face on it. Almost the right size. Little green stuff, little helmet around it, Mortarion's face inside. Tight. All right, that is actually stuck on there decent, so I can put the other piece on. Once again, we're going to look at this. Ish. I guess that's how it's supposed to go. supposed to just follow him. Just dropping each one. You only get one real solid nubbin to guide it. There we go. That's not bad. I do have to figure out my warp scheme for this guy. I don't think I want to go with like an extreme greeny thing. I've used it in spots and I like it. But I don't think it's going to fit in with how the rest of the model is painted. I don't think it fits in at all on this guy. I do need to figure out what plasma version is going to come out of this gun. And I might just do something like a cool blue, I think. And my Typhus has got that sort of purpley glow going. Dark in here, but so probably go with something purple. I think it'll be nice to have like purple on top and on the bottom of the cloak, which sort of starts turning into the warp again because he's demonic. So that may work. And then they put the gas coming out the back of the scythe. Face down? It is face down. All right, so I can get that guy in there. Let's do it. His arm's on there pretty good. Just deposit some glue in each hole. And I can hold this guy on there. 1, 2, 3. Go. All right, so not gonna lie, parts of this have been a little scary. Not insurmountably so. I've had to snip some bits off to get certain things to fit the right way. But none of them are terminally bad things. A lot of these chains, a lot of this warpy stuff is a little bit of a challenge. But it's not too bad. It is not too bad. I wouldn't fear it. And it's all, I guess it all depends on whether or not his wings fit in now. That will be the challenge. Is the wings. That might actually be like, I don't want to say insurmountable, but it might be a little weird with the way that scythe is set up. It is a little weird. I gotta pull on it a little. Oh, that's gonna be so awkward. Oh, that doesn't feel good. There we go. It'll snip in. His scythe is actually gonna hold that wing on. Like, there's no glue on this right now. There's no glue on it. All that stuff is going to be in the way. Other wing. Hopefully a simpler occasion. Yeah, it was definitely right not to put the wings on yet. This guy will go back here and sit like that. All right. The wings stay off for now. The wings stay off. Yep, that was the right call because this guy is still smushy. All right. I have caused enough chaos, I think. All right, so we know what our next steps are. We got a few more Nurglings to slap on there. That's no biggie. We got some tubes, some face tubes. That's no biggie. I don't even know where these things go. I think they go all the way around again. Whatever this picture says. Boop. Head goes on. Those guys go on. Can't even see where they go into. Whatever. They'll fit somewhere. I think they go into the... Yeah, it's ridiculous. They go into the gap of the wing. That's where they go. At least that's where it looks like. So the wing's going to be on like this. Yeah. This tube's going to go in through the gap. That's annoying. All right. Well, buddy, You've been cool. I have a decent degree in confidence that this was a good night. There was a lot of fundamental stuff that I had to get kind of right with a couple tries, a little bit of finagling, a little spooky, a little sweaty, but it's together. Even though this part is not is not stuck down. Well, no time like the present. Just scooch some more glue in there. Hold this dude down. I need 3 points of contact, Mortarion. You are in trouble. Why are you sliding around in there? You know there's a happy spot for you. Don't you slide around on me, buddy. There we go. Every step of the way. Dramatic. Just like Mortarion. Probably off camera. I don't know, maybe sometime around, maybe tomorrow morning. I'm not going to get up that early. Tomorrow night, do a little touch-up paint. Then we'll do all this warpy stuff. Get back to this cloth. Get through the metallics. Then base him. Get that base looking pretty. Get his wings on. Easy peasy. It'd be like 10 episodes. Anyway, thanks a bunch. I'm gonna head out for the night. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna let this guy dry. Let the glue dry. Anyway, thanks a bunch. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.